Hi everyone, it's Kristen. So last weekend I uploaded my the video of the X-Men mansion that I made that I decorated for Christmas. But I wanted to do at least like one Christmas like themed comic book issue. And I looked through my comic books and I thought, well, I think when I started my channel, I did most of these at that point. But I did find this one that I apparently have never done. So this is what we're going to do today. It even says Merry Christmas on the front. So since Christmas is very, very soon. Um, yeah, not too far now. Oh, and it's finally like cold here. For us, cold is like 40s. Um, and anytime it gets even a little bit cold, I throw this on because I love it. It's one of my favorite, definitely one of my favorite clothing items I own. Um, I mean, because X-Men. How could you not like it? So this issue starts off with, and this is basically right kind of when after Kitty has joined the team. And this issue starts off with a flashback of Uncanny X-Men 96, where Storm fought the Nagarai, the, the demon, race that were created by the Elder Gods. Uh, I think that's how you pronounce it. Nagarai. Um, if that's not, let me know because you know me, I've talked about how sometimes I'm unsure of how to pronounce things and I don't want to sound dumb, but you know, it's a comic book it's in comic books and it's not like they have ever been in this demon race has ever been in any movies, X-Men movies or cartoons or anything. So, yeah. So, it's no wonder I am not positive how to pronounce it. Anyway, so it talks about in Uncanny X-Men 96 when Storm fought them, and because they were trying to open the portal between their dimension and Earth in order to, come through the portal and conquer Earth. And Storm destroyed the portal, and they thought that meant that, the connection between the two worlds was severed. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case because there's still some that lingered, in this world. So you have this nice newlywed couple, Douglas and Ellie, who are going into the forest to find their first Christmas tree. And unfortunately, they are confronted by a Nagarai, and it, because I don't know, it could be a girl or female. Um, they it kills them and feeds on both their body and soul. So it's Christmas Eve, and Professor Xavier is having Kitty go through the Blackbird protocols again, just to make sure she knows, how to turn it on, how to turn it off, just in case she ever, does get to fly it. And Angel's like, hey, the car's here. And so you see Wolverine comes in with Mariko, and there's Colossus and Nightcrawler being himself. He has a little bit of mistletoe and he pops out, kisses her on the cheek, and that makes Wolverine, like react like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like feeling threatened because Kurt just popped out of nowhere. But really, I mean, that's just Kurt, how he is. So Colossus changes form, like instantly reacts and restrains him. And Professor Xavier basically calms Wolverine down telepathically. And Wolverine is like, I'm sorry, I don't kind of know what came over me. I thought I could change and I hoped I could, and apparently I can't. Like he's really struggling like with his, inner demons and his, the feral nature. Not feral, but you know what I mean. So Kitty decides to break the tension, so she has her own little sprig of mistletoe, kisses Peter on the cheek, and says, Merry Christmas, sexy, which I think it's interesting that they, put that word in here. Okay, so Kitty is like 13 here. And Colossus is like, oh, like 17, 18, 19. So of course, when I read these when I was younger, um, like the first time I read these, of course, obviously I wasn't alive in 1981. But when I first read these, I didn't pick up on that at all. But after like as an adult reading them, I'm like, ooh, a little bit of an age gap there. I don't know. But, that's something kind of we just kind of gloss over and we don't talk about because it makes people a little bit uncomfortable, which I totally understand. So anyway, Kitty's like, Peter, you're blushing. And Nightcrawler's like, well, good thing she only kissed, him on the cheek. Otherwise, he could have dropped dead from shock. So anyway, so Storm's like, I brought the car around, Professor. We're ready to go. Which is interesting because like apparently everyone is going somewhere and leaving and they're going to leave Kitty all alone by herself and it's Christmas Eve. Of course, she's Jewish, so she celebrates Hanukkah. So maybe that's kind of why they're like, well, it's she'll be fine. It's okay, because it's Christmas. She doesn't celebrate Christmas. It still seems a little bit weird to just leave her alone on a major holiday. She's 13, but still, she just joined the team not too long ago. So I don't know, just a little bit weird. But of course, if they didn't do that, then we wouldn't have this story. So that's probably the reason. And I mean, you'll see why. It's kind of like this story is basically her rite of passage into the X-Men. Um, so Angel goes off and he's gonna meet his girlfriend Candy Southern and they're gonna have a date night. And Cyclops, who left the team in Uncanny X-Men 138 after Jean died, well, after she died. Well, okay, she did actually die, but then they retooled it to where it wasn't actually her that died. Anyway, it's Jean has died and come back so many times that honestly, I have lost count. Like I can't tell you how many times because I honestly have lost count. I don't remember how many times it's been. But anyway, so Cyclops has left the team. He actually decides to join a crew, a ship, work on a ship as part of the crew. Like to, I guess, just for a totally different lifestyle change. And he, talks to the captain, and he doesn't know that the captain, Lee Forrester, is a girl. So we meet Lee Forrester in this issue, and she goes on to be like, she and Cyclops become involved. Lee also becomes involved in Magneto with Magneto later. You know, it's a little bit messy, but a little bit soap opera-y. But I've talked about that before. Like comic books are a lot like soap operas, wherein they have these, crazy plots and all these things happen and, you know, just yeah, it's like a soap opera. So Kitty decides, well, everyone's left her alone in the mansion, so she's gonna go get a workout in. Like she can't actually like run a scenario in the danger room since there's nobody else there. So she's just working out. And she's like, "Well, I don't even understand why I have to work out. Like I have to do all this schoolwork and then I have to do all this training and then I have to do, I have to work out. Like why do we even bother to work out? Because like our we have superpowers. Like we don't need to be in super physical tip-top shape, even though I am." She says. So she there's an intruder alert in zone 4, which is Storm's attic. So Kitty goes up there and she sees that it's been like destroyed. The plants are all dead and there's like all this goo on the floor. So she's like, I don't understand what's going on. And the next page, you see the Nagarai. And so Kitty quickly phases, thinking she can escape it, but it, you know, crashes through the floor. Like it's strong. It follows her because it sees her as prey. So she keeps running from it, keeps phasing. She's trying to figure out a plan, like what she can do. She goes and for the phone, because of course this is before they had cell phones. So she goes for the landline phone in order to it's so funny because, in this scenario, in today's day and age, she would have her cell phone probably handy, probably on her, because we usually, keep it in our pockets or whatever, so she wouldn't have to like go through the whole mansion in order to get to the phone to call for help. Um, of course, she could also just like call telepathically the professor for help, but maybe they kind of, since she's new, didn't like go over that as much. But again, like I said, if we think too much about this story, like, oh, well, why didn't they do this or that? Then we wouldn't have this story. So, anyway, bear with me. So, anyway, she goes for the landline to call for help. The Nagarai follows her and she phases just like a split second before it touches her. And like she says she's never felt such pain before. Even though she was phased, it still got a hold of her just a little bit. And like her arms numb, she can't even use it. She feels sick to her stomach. Like she doesn't understand what's going on. So she decides that she should lure it to the danger room and hopefully the danger room can take care of it. Like since she can't really fight it, so she's hoping the danger room will take care of it for her because she can phase in the danger room and avoid most of the traps and the weapons and everything. So, but the Nagarai pretty much just like rips through the danger room too, like it's nothing. So she's like, okay, new plan. See, and here it is. It's still, just like the danger room is like almost no big deal for it. And meanwhile, Kitty is using all the strength, all her wits, everything she can to avoid it and all the, traps and the weapons and everything in the danger room. So she's like, okay, he's all that this is doing is making the monster mad and I'm getting tired. I need a new plan. But then she realizes that when there was fire, the monster demon didn't like fire. So she's like, okay, I have a plan now. So she goes to the hangar. She gets in the cockpit of the Blackbird. She remembers, okay, like, what am I supposed to do? This is what I need to do to, turn it on. She waits until the demon's right behind her, turns on the engines up to, full thrust, full throttle, and basically burns it alive. She only stops to turn off the engine when she realizes that the undercarriage of the Blackbird has like collapsed, has fallen out of it. So she turns it off. She goes, she still phases because she can't really see anything because the automatic sprinklers did not turn on. So she needs to actually go turn them on manually. And the air is just full of smoke. So she's like, okay. So she's still, phase walking through. She looks for the demon and she sees this claw come out of all the smoke and she screams. But, the next thing is it says that everyone didn't get home until after midnight. And the police were, warning everyone, all the residents in the area about these brutal murders that happened. That was the Nagarai killing that young couple who were just trying to get a tree for their first Christmas. So that's pretty sad. And so they go in and find Kitty, and she's, been in the living room watching TV. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see you guys. You guys will never believe it." And then if her parents say, "If you're happy to see them, what about us?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh, my parents. Dad, you grew a beard." Because of course, it's a total surprise. They weren't supposed to be there, but Professor Xavier realized that she was probably missing them and they were missing her, and so they should be together for this holiday. So he arranged the whole thing. And Storm, taps Kitty on the shoulder and says, I've just been to my attic. Would you care to explain what's happened? What's going on?" And so Kitty's like, "Well, about that. there was this demon that chased this monster that chased me through, that attacked me. And, we fought and I got lucky and I won. But in the process, we destroyed your attic, the danger room, the hangar, and most of the mansion. And then Kitty's like, are you mad at me? And Storm's like, no, I don't think I'm mad. I think I'm actually, proud of you. So basically, like I, said, it was kind of her rite of passage to join the X-Men, this test. So, like I said, there was a lot of a lot of things about that story. Like, well, she could have just telepathically called for help, and the whole, if this was in today's day and age, there would be a cell phone, probably pretty handy that she probably would have had it like near her where she wouldn't have to go through the mansion to get to the landline. But it's still a fun rite of passage story for her. So, and I mean, it's still I wouldn't say a fun story, but you know what I mean. So, anyway, so I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you're still joining me for the advent calendar videos. Um, I mean, I believe they're, yeah, almost done now. Seems weird that, but I've been enjoying them mostly because Dazzler, she's always entertaining. She can't be in this room with me. She'd destroy everything. But yeah, but it's been fun having her for those videos, help me out with those. And she's just goofy. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great holiday. Merry Christmas, because since we're talking about, this issue and Christmas, and it says Merry Christmas on the front, I will say Merry Christmas today, and I will see you guys soon. And thanks for, joining me, watching my videos, supporting me, sharing, however, commenting. I love to read your comments. I love to respond to them. So yeah, however, and whatever you do, I appreciate it. I really do. So until then, until next time, bye.